Alone and desperate, Amelia was left behind in a biting snowstorm with nothing but a thin blanket and 2 newborns. Her group of settlers abandoned her, leaving her to face the cold alone. No support, no mercy, just endless snow and a howling wind. She trudged through the storm, on the brink of despair. But then, through the blizzard, an Apache hunter appeared, calm, silent, and watching her intently. She thought her struggle was over. But destiny had other plans. Before we dive in, tell us where you're watching from, and subscribe if you believe that destiny has its own path. Amelia was a young settler traveling west with a group. Her life had changed drastically when her husband died. Now she was alone with her newborn twins. The journey was hard, full of challenges and dangers. It was winter, and the cold was relentless. The group moved slowly, their supplies running low. Every day was a struggle to find food and warmth. Amelia tried her best to keep up with the others. She carried her twins close to her body, wrapping them in a thin blanket to shield them from the icy wind. The babies needed constant care, which made the journey even more difficult for her. She was determined to protect them, despite her own exhaustion and grief. The group she traveled with was wary of her situation. They saw Amelia and her babies as a burden. The cold weather made everyone tense and irritable. Supplies were scarce, and each member of the group had to fend for themselves. As the days grew colder, their situation became dire. One evening, a fierce snowstorm hit. The wind howled through the trees, and snow fell thick and fast. The group struggled to set up camp, searching for shelter from the storm. Amelia did her best to help, but her focus was on keeping her babies warm and safe. As the storm worsened, the group held a quick meeting. They whispered among themselves, casting glances at Amelia and her children. She could sense their frustration and fear. The leader of the group approached her, his expression grim. He explained that they could no longer support her and the twins. The storm made it too dangerous to continue with extra burdens. Amelia's heart sank. She pleaded with them, but they had made up their minds. They left her with a thin blanket, a small amount of food, and a few supplies. Then they moved on, disappearing into the swirling snow. Alone in the storm, Amelia felt a wave of despair. The wind cut through her clothes, chilling her to the bone. She held her babies tightly, their small bodies trembling against her. She knew she had to find shelter quickly or they would not survive the night. Despite her fear and exhaustion, Amelia pushed forward. Her feet sank into the deep snow with each step. Her arms ached from holding the twins, but she refused to give up. She scanned the landscape, searching for anything that could provide shelter. The snow continued to fall, covering everything in a thick, white blanket. Amelia's vision blurred from the cold and her own tears. She stumbled, nearly falling as she trudged onward. Her thoughts were a jumble of worry and determination. She had to stay strong for her children. They depended on her. As the storm raged on, Amelia spotted a cluster of trees. They offered a small break from the wind and snow. She made her way toward them, hoping to find some protection. The trees provided a bit of relief, but it was not enough. She needed more than just a windbreak. Amelia's mind raced as she considered her options. She knew she couldn't stay in the open much longer. Her babies needed warmth and safety. She thought of her husband and how he would have known what to do. The thought gave her a brief sense of comfort, but she was alone now. The responsibility was hers alone. In the distance, she noticed a dark shape. It was a small cave, partially hidden by the snow. It was not much, but it was something. She gathered her remaining strength and made her way toward it. The entrance was narrow, but she managed to squeeze inside. The cave was cold and damp, but it was sheltered from the wind and snow. Amelia set her babies down gently, wrapping them as tightly as she could in the blanket. She huddled close to them, using her body heat to keep them warm. As the storm continued outside, Amelia tried to calm her racing heart. She knew this was only a temporary solution. The cave was not suitable for long-term survival, but it was a start. She needed to think of her next move, but her mind was clouded by exhaustion and fear. The twins began to cry softly, their small voices echoing in the cave. Amelia rocked them gently, whispering soothing words. Their cries reminded her of her purpose. She had to survive, not just for herself, but for them. They were her world now, her reason to keep going. She took stock of the supplies she had left. There was a bit of food and some water. It wasn't much, but she would make it last. Rationing would be key. She had to be careful, thoughtful with every decision she made. The night wore on and the storm showed no sign of letting up. Amelia closed her eyes, trying to rest for a moment. Her body was weary, but her mind was alert. She knew she couldn't afford to sleep deeply, not in their current situation. She thought of the group that had left her behind. She understood why they had made their decision, but it still hurt. They had been her companions, her lifeline. Now she was forced to rely on her own strength and resourcefulness. As the first light of dawn began to filter into the cave, Amelia felt a renewed sense of determination. The storm had passed, leaving a still, white world in its wake. She gathered her babies close, feeling their warmth against her. They were her motivation, her hope. Amelia knew that she had to move forward. The cave had served its purpose, but it was time to find a more permanent solution. She had to find a way to keep her children safe, to give them a chance at life. With the snow crunching under her feet, she stepped out of the cave and into the morning light. The landscape was transformed, covered in a thick layer of snow. It was beautiful, but also daunting. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the journey ahead. Amelia knew the road would be hard, but she was ready to face it. She had no choice. Her babies needed her, and she would do whatever it took to ensure their survival. The future was uncertain, but she had hope. And sometimes, hope was enough to keep going. Amelia continued her journey through the snow, her determination renewed by the morning light. The cold was biting, but she had no choice but to press on. Her twins needed her to be strong. She carried them close, trying to keep them warm with her own body heat. The landscape was vast and white, a never-ending expanse of snow. Amelia took each step carefully, mindful of the hidden dangers beneath the snow. Her heart pounded in her chest, but she focused on her goal, finding shelter that could protect them for more than a single night. As she moved through the snow, the elements took a toll on her. Her fingers were numb and her limbs felt heavy. The wind whipped around her, cutting through her thin clothing. Despite her exhaustion, Amelia refused to stop. She knew she had to keep moving. Her thoughts drifted to the cave she had left behind. It had been a small refuge, but it was not enough. She needed a place where they could truly rest and recover. Her babies were counting on her, and she would not let them down. The cries of her twins spurred her into action. Their small voices were a reminder of why she fought so hard. She whispered to them, promising that she would find a safe place soon. Her words were as much for herself as for them. As the day wore on, Amelia's strength began to wane. She stumbled through the snow, her body weary from the effort. Her mind was a fog of worry and determination. She knew she couldn't afford to lose hope, but it was hard to stay positive in such harsh conditions. She stopped for a moment to catch her breath, feeling the weight of her situation pressing down on her. Her supplies were limited, and she had to ration everything carefully. Each decision was crucial, and there was no room for error. Amelia took stock of what she had left. There was a small amount of food and water, just enough to last another day if she was careful. She fed her babies first, making sure they had enough. Their well-being was her top priority. The snow continued to fall, adding to the already thick blanket on the ground. The landscape looked the same in every direction, making it hard to find her way. Amelia relied on her instincts, moving toward what she hoped was safety. As she walked, she thought of her husband. He had been her partner in everything, and his absence was a constant ache in her heart. She missed his strength and guidance, especially now. But she drew strength from his memory, knowing he would want her to keep fighting. The day stretched into late afternoon, and Amelia felt her strength fading. She needed to find shelter before nightfall. The cold was relentless, and she couldn't risk spending another night exposed to the elements. Her eyes scanned the horizon, searching for anything that might offer protection. She saw a cluster of rocks in the distance, and her heart lifted. It wasn't much, but it was something. She made her way toward it, hoping it would provide some respite from the cold. The rocks formed a small outcropping, offering a bit of cover from the wind. Amelia settled the babies down, wrapping them tightly in the thin blanket. She huddled close to them, using her body to block the wind. As she sat there, Amelia's mind raced with thoughts of what to do next. She knew the rocks were only a temporary solution. She needed to find true shelter, a place where they could stay for more than a single night. Her body was weary, but she forced herself to stay alert. She couldn't afford to let her guard down, not even for a moment. The wilderness was unforgiving, and she had to be ready for anything. The cries of her twins pulled her from her thoughts. They were hungry and cold, and she did her best to comfort them. She fed them a little, careful to save enough for later. Every action was a balancing act, a test of her resolve. As the sun began to set, the temperature dropped even further. Amelia shivered, her body shaking from the cold. She wrapped her arms around her babies, trying to keep them warm. Her heart ached with worry, but she refused to give in to despair. The night was long and harsh, but Amelia held on. She closed her eyes, trying to rest for a moment. Her mind drifted to thoughts of a better place, a place where they could be safe and warm. It was a small comfort, a glimmer of hope in the darkness. When dawn broke, Amelia felt a renewed sense of determination. She knew she had to keep moving. The rocks had been a brief refuge, but they couldn't stay there. She gathered her babies close, whispering words of encouragement to them. With the snow crunching under her feet, she set out once more. Each step was a struggle, but she refused to give up. Her babies needed her to be strong, to find a way out of the cold and into safety. As she walked, she thought of the future. She imagined a place where they could be warm and safe, a place where her babies could thrive. The thought gave her strength, even as her body cried out for rest. Amelia knew the journey would be hard, but she was ready to face it. She had no choice. Her babies depended on her, and she would do whatever it took to ensure their survival. The future was uncertain, but she had hope, and sometimes hope was enough to keep going. Amelia pushed onward through the endless snow, exhaustion weighing heavy on her limbs. Each step was a battle against the biting cold and her own fatigue. Her twins slept in her arms, their small bodies wrapped tightly in the thin blanket. The thought of their safety kept her moving when every part of her wanted to rest. As the sun rose higher, the landscape remained unchanged. White snow stretched out in all directions, broken only by the occasional cluster of trees or rocks. Amelia's eyes scanned the horizon, searching for any sign of shelter or help. Her heart ached with the fear that she might not find it in time. Suddenly, in the distance, she noticed a figure. At first, she thought it might be a trick of the light, but as she drew closer, she realized it was a person. Her heart leapt with a mix of hope and caution. She was not alone. The figure was an Apache hunter, standing still and watching her approach. Amelia's instincts told her to be wary, but she knew she had little choice. She was too weak to continue much longer without help. Her twins needed warmth and she needed rest. The hunter, named Nate, stood quietly, observing her with a calm demeanor. Amelia hesitated, unsure of what to do. She took a deep breath, reminding herself of her purpose. Her children's well-being was worth the risk. Nate approached slowly, his movements cautious and deliberate. He stopped a few steps away, studying her and the babies in her arms. Amelia felt a flicker of fear but also a glimmer of hope. His presence meant she was not alone in this vast wilderness. Nate gestured to her, pointing to the blanket and the babies. He seemed to understand her situation even without words. Amelia nodded, trying to convey her need for help. Her eyes pleaded with him, hoping he would see her desperation. In response, Nate offered her some food and a warmer blanket. Amelia accepted gratefully, feeling the warmth of the blanket wrap around her and the twins. The simple gesture brought tears to her eyes. It was the first kindness she had received in days. Though they spoke different languages, Nate and Amelia found ways to communicate. Simple gestures and shared expressions bridged the gap between them. He pointed to the distance, indicating a direction for her to follow. Amelia understood he was offering to guide her to a safer place. With her trust placed in Nate, Amelia followed him through the snow-covered landscape. The journey was difficult, but his presence gave her strength. She watched him move with confidence and skill, navigating the terrain with ease. His knowledge of the land was apparent, and she felt a growing respect for him. Along the way, Nate shared basic survival skills with Amelia. He showed her how to find safe food and water, teaching her which plants were edible and how to melt snow for drinking. Each lesson was a lifeline, a tool for survival in the harsh wilderness. Amelia's admiration for Nate grew as she observed his quiet strength and resourcefulness. He was a man of few words, but his actions spoke volumes. She found comfort in his presence, knowing she was not alone in her struggle. The journey was long and Amelia's body ached with fatigue, but each step brought them closer to safety. Her resolve strengthened with each passing hour, fueled by the knowledge that they were moving toward a place of refuge. Finally, Nate led them to a small, secluded camp. The sight of it brought a wave of relief over Amelia. It was a place where they could rest and recover, sheltered from the elements. The camp was simple, but it offered warmth and security. The people in the camp greeted them cautiously, their expressions curious but not unfriendly. Nate spoke with them, explaining Amelia's situation. She watched as the community members nodded in understanding, their gazes softening with empathy. Amelia was introduced to the community and learned about their ways and traditions. They were kind and generous, offering her food, clothing, and a warm place to stay. The warmth of their welcome eased her fears and gave her a sense of belonging she hadn't expected to find. With the twins settled in a warm corner of the shelter, Amelia allowed herself to relax for the first time in days. Her body ached and her mind was weary, but she felt a sense of peace. She was grateful for the kindness of strangers and the unexpected turn her journey had taken. As the days passed, Amelia began to understand more about the community's way of life. She observed their daily routines, learning about their customs and traditions. The rhythm of their lives was different from what she had known, but it was comforting in its own way. Nate's family offered their help, teaching Amelia how to contribute to the community. She learned to gather and prepare food, to care for the animals, and to assist with other tasks. Her days were busy, but the work was rewarding. Amelia found solace in the simple tasks that filled her days. It was a stark contrast to the chaos and fear of her journey. She reflected on her life, realizing how far she had come and how much she had changed. The path she was on now was unexpected, but it was also full of potential. Her bond with Nate grew as they spent more time together. They shared stories of their pasts, finding common ground in their experiences of loss and resilience. Nate spoke of his family and the challenges they faced, and Amelia shared her story of the journey that had brought her to this point. Through their shared experiences and mutual respect, Amelia found a sense of belonging she hadn't felt since losing her husband. The community embraced her, offering friendship and support. She was no longer alone, and her heart was lighter for it. Amelia knew there were challenges ahead, but she felt ready to face them. She had found a place where she and her twins could be safe and warm, a place where they could grow and thrive. The journey was far from over, but she had hope for the future. With Nate and the community by her side, Amelia looked to the days ahead with confidence. She had found more than just shelter, she had found a new beginning. Her journey had led her to a place of safety and hope, and she was grateful for every step that had brought her here. Amelia settled into the rhythm of life at the Apache camp. Each day brought new tasks and lessons. The community was welcoming, but Amelia knew she had to earn her place among them. She was determined to contribute, not just to rely on their kindness. Nate became her guide and teacher. He showed her how to navigate the snow-covered landscape, pointing out hidden dangers and safe paths. Amelia watched and learned, grateful for his patience and knowledge. Together, they worked to provide for the camp, gathering food and firewood. The terrain was challenging, but Nate moved with ease. Amelia admired his skill and wanted to learn from him. She practiced the techniques he taught her, her confidence growing with each success. The lessons were difficult but rewarding. Amelia felt stronger and more capable with each passing day. Nate also taught her how to find safe water and how to build a fire in the snow. These skills were essential for survival, and Amelia was eager to master them. She knew that she had to be self-reliant for her sake and for her twins. The bond between Amelia and Nate deepened as they spent more time together. They worked side by side, each task bringing them closer. Communication was sometimes a challenge, but they found ways to understand each other. Gestures, expressions, and shared experiences bridged the gap between their languages. Amelia's respect for Nate grew as she witnessed his quiet strength and resourcefulness. He was a man of few words, but his actions spoke volumes. She found comfort in his presence, knowing she could rely on him in times of need. As they journeyed through the landscape, Amelia's resolve to survive strengthened. The wilderness was harsh, but she was learning to adapt. Each day was a step forward, a chance to build a new life for herself and her children. The twins were thriving in the camp. The community embraced them, offering care and affection. Amelia watched as her babies grew, their laughter and smiles a bright spot in her day. She was grateful for the support of the community, their kindness a balm for her weary heart. The winter was long and harsh, but the camp was prepared. The people worked together, sharing resources and helping one another. Amelia was part of this collective effort, her contributions valued and appreciated. Nate's family welcomed Amelia into their circle, teaching her more about their customs and traditions. She was eager to learn, embracing the new way of life with an open heart. The community was different from what she had known, but it was home now. Amelia reflected on her journey, the path that had brought her here. She thought of the group that had left her behind, the despair she had felt in the snowstorm. Those memories were still painful, but they were part of her story. Her thoughts often turned to her husband, the life they had planned together. She missed him dearly, but she knew he would want her to find happiness and purpose. Her current life was not what they had envisioned, but it was full of potential. As Amelia and Nate continued their work, their bond grew stronger. They shared more of their stories, finding common ground in their experiences of loss and resilience. Nate spoke of his family, the challenges they faced, and his hopes for the future. Amelia shared her memories of her husband and the journey that had brought her to this point. Their conversations were a source of comfort and understanding, a chance to connect on a deeper level. The respect and trust between them blossomed into something more. Amelia felt a sense of belonging she hadn't experienced since losing her husband. Nate had become an important part of her life, a partner in this new chapter. With each passing day, Amelia felt more at ease in the camp. She had found a place where she could be herself, where her contributions were valued. The community was her support system, a network of caring individuals who looked out for one another. The journey to safety had been long and difficult, but Amelia was grateful for where it had led her. She had found more than just shelter, she had found a new beginning. Her twins were safe and thriving, and she felt hopeful for the future. As she watched the sun set over the snow-covered landscape, Amelia knew she had made the right choice. The path ahead was still uncertain, but she felt ready to face it. With Nate and the community by her side, she was confident in her ability to overcome any challenges. Amelia's heart was full of gratitude and hope. She had found her place in the world, a place where she was loved and needed. Her journey had led her to a life of purpose and belonging, a life she cherished deeply. Together, Amelia and Nate looked to the future, their hearts united in resilience and hope. They would face whatever came their way, confident in their ability to build a life of love and purpose. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. Nate led Amelia and the twins further into the heart of the Apache camp, where they were greeted with cautious curiosity. The camp was nestled in a sheltered valley, surrounded by trees and hills. It was a safe place, hidden from the harsh winds and heavy snow. The people in the camp were busy with their daily tasks, but many stopped to watch the newcomers. Amelia felt a mix of nervousness and hope as she entered the camp. She was grateful for Nate's guidance and the chance to find refuge here. The weight of her journey lifted slightly from her shoulders as she saw the welcoming faces of the community members. Nate introduced Amelia to his family, who offered her food and warm clothing. They were kind and patient, understanding her situation without needing many words. Amelia was relieved to be in a place where she and her children could rest and recover. The warmth of the fire and the smell of cooking food filled the air, bringing a sense of comfort she had not felt in a long time. The camp was bustling with activity. Children played in the snow, their laughter echoing through the valley. Men and women worked together, preparing food, tending to animals, and repairing shelters. Amelia watched and listened, eager to learn about their ways and traditions. Nate's family showed Amelia around the camp, explaining the different roles and responsibilities of the community members. She was eager to contribute, to become a part of this new world that had opened up to her. The tasks were different from what she had known, but she was determined to adapt. In the days that followed, Amelia began to integrate into the camp. She learned how to gather and prepare food, how to care for the animals, and how to help with the daily tasks that kept the community running smoothly. Her efforts were appreciated, and she felt a growing sense of belonging. The twins were a source of joy for the community. Their laughter and curiosity brought smiles to the faces of those around them. Amelia was grateful for the support and love they received from the people in the camp. Her heart swelled with gratitude as she watched them thrive. Amelia found comfort in the routines and rhythms of the camp. The work was hard, but it was rewarding. The simple tasks gave her a sense of purpose, a chance to focus on the present and the future. She was no longer just surviving, she was living. Nate continued to be a guiding presence in her life. He taught her more about the land, how to read the signs of nature and find resources. His knowledge was invaluable, and Amelia was grateful for his patience and generosity. Their bond grew stronger with each shared experience. As Amelia settled into her new life, she reflected on the journey that had brought her here. She thought of the hardships she had faced, the moments of despair, and the flickers of hope. The memories were vivid, a testament to her resilience and determination. Her thoughts often turned to her husband, the life they had planned together. She missed him deeply, but she felt his presence in her heart. He had been her rock, her partner in everything. She knew he would want her to find happiness and purpose even in this unexpected place. The community embraced Amelia, offering friendship and support. She learned about their customs and traditions, finding beauty in their way of life. The people were kind and generous, their spirits strong despite the challenges they faced. Amelia's respect for nature and the community deepened as she learned more about their history and struggles. They were resilient and resourceful, determined to protect their way of life. She admired their strength and was proud to be a part of their world. The winter was harsh, but the camp was well prepared. The people worked together, sharing resources and helping each other. Amelia contributed to this collective effort, her skills improving with each passing day. She felt a sense of pride in her ability to contribute, to be a part of something greater than herself. As the days turned into weeks, Amelia's confidence grew. She was no longer the frightened, desperate woman who had stumbled into the camp. She was stronger, more self-assured, and ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The bond between Amelia and Nate continued to grow. They shared more of their stories, finding common ground in their experiences of loss and resilience. Nate spoke of his family and his hopes for the future, and Amelia shared her dreams for herself and her children. Their connection was deep and meaningful, built on mutual respect and understanding. Amelia found comfort in Nate's presence, knowing she could rely on him in times of need. He had become an important part of her life, a partner in this new chapter. Amelia's heart was full of gratitude and hope. She had found a place where she could be herself, where her contributions were valued. The community was her support system, a network of caring individuals who looked out for one another. As she watched the sun set over the camp, Amelia felt a sense of peace. Her journey had led her to a place of safety and belonging, a place where she and her children could thrive. The path ahead was still uncertain, but she was ready to face it with courage and hope. With Nate and the community by her side, Amelia looked to the future with confidence. She had found more than just shelter, she had found a new beginning. Her journey had brought her to a life of purpose and belonging, a life she cherished deeply. Together, Amelia and Nate faced the challenges of winter, their hearts united in resilience and hope. They would face whatever came their way, confident in their ability to build a life of love and purpose. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. Amelia continued to settle into the Apache community. Each day brought new experiences and challenges, and she was eager to learn more. The people in the camp were patient and kind, helping her understand their customs and language. Amelia's desire to integrate was strong. She wanted to be a part of this world, to contribute and belong. Nate was a constant support, guiding her through the complexities of the community's way of life. His family also played a crucial role, showing her the ropes and making her feel welcome. The bond between Amelia and Nate grew deeper with each passing day. They spent much time together, working side by side on various tasks. Nate's quiet strength and wisdom provided Amelia with comfort and reassurance. She admired his leadership and the respect he commanded within the community. Amelia learned to appreciate the land's offerings. She gathered herbs and plants, learning their uses and benefits. The knowledge was empowering, giving her a sense of control over her environment. She was no longer just a passive observer, she was an active participant in her new life. As Amelia learned more about the community, she shared her own story with them. She spoke of her journey, her late husband, and the challenges she had faced. Her openness was met with understanding and empathy. The people listened, offering words of encouragement and support. Nate, too, shared his past with Amelia. He spoke of his family, the struggles they had endured, and the losses they had faced. His honesty created a deeper connection between them, a bond forged through shared experiences and mutual respect. Amelia was grateful for the trust Nate placed in her. She respected his strength and resilience, qualities that mirrored her own. Their relationship was built on a foundation of respect and understanding, and it grew stronger with each shared moment. The community was a source of strength for Amelia. She felt a sense of belonging she hadn't experienced since losing her husband. The people were kind and supportive, offering friendship and guidance. Amelia embraced her new life with open arms, finding comfort in the routines and rhythms of the camp. Her twins were thriving, their laughter filling the air with joy. The community adored them, treating them with kindness and affection. Amelia watched them grow, her heart swelling with pride and love. They were her motivation, her reason to keep pushing forward. As the harsh winter continued, the community faced challenges. Food was scarce and the cold was relentless. Amelia worked hard to help gather resources, contributing to the camp's survival efforts. She felt a sense of pride in her ability to help, to be part of something greater than herself. Amelia's skills improved and she became more confident in her abilities. She learned to hunt and fish, to track animals and find food in the wilderness. Each new skill was a step toward self-reliance, a testament to her determination and resilience. The bond between Amelia and Nate was a source of strength for both of them. They found comfort in each other's presence, relying on one another in times of need. Their connection was deep and meaningful, rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Amelia's heart was full of gratitude and hope. She had found a place where she could be herself, where her contributions were valued. The community was her support system, a network of caring individuals who looked out for one another. As she watched the sun set over the camp, Amelia felt a sense of peace. Her journey had led her to a place of safety and belonging, a place where she and her children could thrive. The path ahead was still uncertain, but she was ready to face it with courage and hope. With Nate and the community by her side, Amelia looked to the future with confidence. She had found more than just shelter, she had found a new beginning. Her journey had brought her to a life of purpose and belonging, a life she cherished deeply. Together, Amelia and Nate faced the challenges of winter, their hearts united in resilience and hope. They would face whatever came their way, confident in their ability to build a life of love and purpose. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. Amelia's thoughts often turned to her husband, the life they had planned together. She missed him dearly, but she knew he would want her to find happiness and purpose. Her current life was not what they had envisioned, but it was full of potential. The community embraced Amelia, offering friendship and support. She learned about their customs and traditions, finding beauty in their way of life. The people were kind and generous, their spirits strong despite the challenges they faced. Amelia's respect for Nate and the community deepened as she learned more about their history and struggles. They were resilient and resourceful, determined to protect their way of life. She admired their strength and was proud to be a part of their world. The winter was harsh, but the camp was well prepared. The people worked together, sharing resources and helping each other. Amelia contributed to this collective effort, her skills improving with each passing day. She felt a sense of pride in her ability to contribute, to be a part of something greater than herself. As the days turned into weeks, Amelia's confidence grew. She was no longer the frightened, desperate woman who had stumbled into the camp. She was stronger, more self-assured, and ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The bond between Amelia and Nate continued to grow. They shared more of their stories, finding common ground in their experiences of loss and resilience. Nate spoke of his family and his hopes for the future, and Amelia shared her dreams for herself and her children. Their connection was deep and meaningful, built on mutual respect and understanding. Amelia found comfort in Nate's presence, knowing she could rely on him in times of need. He had become an important part of her life, a partner in this new chapter. Amelia's heart was full of gratitude and hope. She had found a place where she could be herself, where her contributions were valued. The community was her support system, a network of caring individuals who looked out for one another. As she watched the sun set over the camp, Amelia felt a sense of peace. Her journey had led her to a place of safety and belonging, a place where she and her children could thrive. The path ahead was still uncertain, but she was ready to face it with courage and hope. With Nate and the community by her side, Amelia looked to the future with confidence. She had found more than just shelter, she had found a new beginning. Her journey had brought her to a life of purpose and belonging, a life she cherished deeply. Together, Amelia and Nate faced the challenges of winter, their hearts united in resilience and hope. They would face whatever came their way, confident in their ability to build a life of love and purpose. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. As winter held its icy grip on the land, the challenges for the Apache camp grew. The cold was relentless and food became scarcer. The community worked tirelessly to ensure everyone had enough to eat and stay warm. Amelia was part of this effort, contributing her skills and energy to help where she could. The harsh weather tested the community's resilience. Everyone had to pull together, sharing resources and supporting each other. Amelia felt a deep sense of pride in being part of such a strong and resourceful group. The bonds she had formed with Nate and others gave her strength and comfort. Amelia learned to adapt to the demands of the harsh season. She helped gather firewood, hunt for food, and care for the animals. Each task demanded focus and effort, but she was determined to do her part. Her confidence grew as she became more adept at handling the challenges of survival. Despite their efforts, the strain of winter was evident. The community faced the constant threat of hunger and cold. Yet, the people remained united, finding ways to keep their spirits up. They sang songs, told stories, and shared what little they had. Their resilience was a testament to their strength and unity. Amelia found herself reflecting on her identity and place in this world. She thought of her past life, the dreams she had shared with her husband. Her journey had led her down an unexpected path, but she was grateful for the new life she had found. The camp was her home now, and she was determined to protect it. Tensions rose as news spread of nearby settlers encroaching on Apache land. The threat loomed over the community, creating an undercurrent of unease. Amelia felt torn between her heritage and her loyalty to the Apache who had welcomed her. She understood the settlers' desire for land, but she also knew the importance of preserving the Apache way of life. Nate and the community leaders met to discuss the growing threat. They talked late into the night, planning how to defend their land and people. Amelia listened, her heart heavy with worry. She wanted to help, to be part of the solution. Her unique position gave her insight into both worlds, a bridge between cultures. As tensions mounted, Amelia grappled with her identity. She was caught between two worlds, each with its own claims on her heart. Her past was a part of her, but so was her present. She had found love and belonging in the camp, and she was determined to protect it. The community began preparing for the possibility of conflict. They fortified their defenses, gathered supplies, and practiced their skills. Amelia participated in these efforts, her resolve strengthened by the support of those around her. She trained with Nate and others, learning how to defend herself and her children. Amelia's determination inspired those around her. She worked tirelessly, her focus on ensuring the safety and well-being of the community. Her twins were a constant reminder of what she was fighting for, their laughter and smiles a beacon of hope. Despite the looming threat, the community found ways to celebrate life. They gathered around the fire, sharing stories and songs. Amelia joined in, her heart lifted by the sense of togetherness. The warmth of the fire and the laughter of her friends filled her with a sense of peace. As the winter wore on, Amelia's bond with Nate deepened. They spent time together, sharing their hopes and fears. Nate's calm strength was a source of comfort for Amelia, his presence a reminder that she was not alone. Their connection was a source of resilience, a foundation for the challenges ahead. Amelia's thoughts often turned to her late husband. She missed him dearly, but she knew he would want her to find happiness and purpose. Her current life was not what they had envisioned, but it was full of potential. She felt his presence in her heart, guiding her through the difficult moments. The community continued to prepare for the possibility of conflict, their bonds growing stronger with each shared effort. Amelia found a sense of fulfillment in her role, her contributions valued by those around her. She was no longer just a settler, she was a part of the Apache community. As spring approached, the tension eased slightly. The threat of the settlers remained, but the community was ready. They had faced the challenges of winter and emerged stronger for it. Amelia felt a deep sense of pride in what they had achieved together. With the arrival of warmer weather, the land began to thaw. The promise of new growth and opportunities filled the air. Amelia looked to the future with hope, confident in the strength and resilience of the community. She had found her place in the world, a place where she was loved and needed. Amelia knew the journey was far from over, but she was ready to face whatever came her way. With Nate and the community by her side, she felt a quiet confidence in the future. Together, they would protect their home and build a life of love and purpose. The challenges of the past had shaped Amelia into the person she was today. Her journey had been difficult, but it had led her to a new beginning. The community had given her a home, a family, and a sense of belonging. She was grateful for every step that had brought her here. As she watched the sun rise over the camp, Amelia felt a sense of peace. Her heart was full of gratitude and hope, her spirit renewed by the strength of those around her. The future was uncertain, but she faced it with courage and determination. Together, Amelia and Nate embraced the promise of tomorrow, their hearts united in resilience and hope. They would face the challenges of the future with confidence, building a life of love and purpose. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. The arrival of spring brought a sense of renewal to the Apache camp. The snow melted, revealing the earth beneath. New life began to stir, and the community felt hopeful. Yet, the tension with the settlers was still present, casting a shadow over their days. Amelia was determined to help maintain peace. Her unique position allowed her to understand both sides. She knew the settlers' desires for land and resources, but she also understood the importance of the Apache's way of life. Her heart was torn, but her resolve was strong. The settlers had made demands, seeking access to the land that the Apache called home. Their approach was aggressive, threatening the fragile peace. Amelia felt the weight of her dual identity caught between her heritage and her new life. Nate and the community leaders worked tirelessly to find a solution. They held meetings, discussing strategies to protect their land and people. They prepared for the possibility of conflict, but their hearts longed for peace. Amelia listened and offered her perspective, hoping to bridge the gap between the two worlds. Amelia's understanding of both cultures made her a vital part of the discussions. She suggested ways to communicate with the settlers, hoping to find common ground. Her insights were valued, her voice a beacon of reason amid the rising tensions. Nature's leadership was tested as he navigated the delicate situation. He was a strong and wise leader respected by his people. His calm demeanor and thoughtful approach inspired confidence. Amelia admired his ability to remain composed under pressure, his focus unwavering. The community prepared for all possibilities. They fortified their defenses and trained for potential conflict. Amelia joined in these efforts, her determination matching that of her fellow community members. She was ready to defend her home and the people she loved. Despite the uncertainty, the community found strength in unity. They gathered around the fire, sharing stories and laughter. Amelia found solace in these moments, the warmth of friendship wrapping around her like a comforting blanket. The twins were a source of joy and hope, their laughter a reminder of what they were fighting for. Amelia watched them play, her heart full of love and determination. They were her future, her reason to keep pushing forward. As the days passed, tensions with the settlers escalated. The community faced the threat with courage and resolve. Amelia felt a deep sense of responsibility, her role as a bridge between cultures more important than ever. Amelia met with the settlers, trying to understand their concerns and find a peaceful resolution. Her heart pounded with nerves, but her resolve was strong. She listened to their demands, her mind working to find a compromise. She spoke of the importance of the land to the Apache, their deep connection to it. She explained the community's way of life, hoping to foster understanding and respect. Her words were met with mixed reactions, but she held her ground, determined to find a path to peace. Nate stood by her side, his presence a source of strength. Together, they faced the settlers, their hearts united in their quest for resolution. The discussions were tense, but Amelia's calm demeanor and insight helped ease the situation. Her role in the negotiations was crucial. She used her understanding of both cultures to find common ground, suggesting compromises that respected both sides. Her efforts were met with appreciation from both the settlers and the community. Amelia's resolve was strengthened by the support of those around her. The community stood behind her, their trust and confidence giving her strength. She was determined to find a way to protect their home and maintain peace. The negotiations continued, each meeting bringing them closer to a resolution. Amelia's bravery and quick thinking were instrumental in defusing the volatile situation. Her efforts were recognized, her role as a bridge between the two worlds solidified. As the discussions progressed, a sense of hope emerged. The possibility of a peaceful resolution became more tangible. Amelia's heart swelled with pride, knowing she had played a part in preserving the peace. Nature's leadership was a guiding light throughout the process. His wisdom and strength inspired those around him, his dedication unwavering. Amelia felt grateful for his partnership, their bond deepening through the shared experience. As the tension eased, Amelia reflected on her journey. She had faced her fears and insecurities, finding strength in her identity. Her role as a bridge between cultures had brought her a sense of purpose and fulfillment. The experience had cemented her place in the community, earning her respect and trust. Amelia felt a deep sense of belonging, her heart full of gratitude for the life she had found. She was no longer just a settler or an outsider. She was a part of the Apache community. With peace on the horizon, Amelia looked to the future with hope. She had found a new beginning, a place where she was loved and needed. Her journey had led her to a life of purpose and belonging, a life she cherished deeply. Together, Amelia and Nate embraced the promise of tomorrow, their hearts united in resilience and hope. They would face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident in their ability to build a life of love and purpose. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. The tension between the settlers and the Apache community reached a critical point. Despite the ongoing negotiations, a confrontation was unavoidable. The community prepared for the worst, their resolve strengthened by the unity they had built. Amelia stood at the heart of the preparations, her determination unwavering. She had worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between the two groups, and her efforts had brought them closer to understanding. But the threat of conflict still loomed, and Amelia knew they had to be ready. Nate and the other leaders organized the community, ensuring everyone knew their roles. The camp was fortified and supplies were gathered. The people trained together, their spirits bolstered by the knowledge that they stood together as one. Amelia's heart was heavy with the weight of the situation. She understood the stakes, the importance of protecting their home and way of life. Her twins were a constant reminder of what she was fighting for, their safety and future at the forefront of her mind. Her connection with Nate was a source of strength. They worked side by side, their bond deepening with each shared task. Nate's calm and steady presence reassured Amelia, his leadership inspiring those around them. When the settlers arrived at the edge of the camp, tensions were high. Amelia's heart raced as she stood with the community, her resolve firm. She had fought hard for peace, and she was determined to see it through. The settlers were wary, their intentions unclear. Amelia stepped forward, her voice steady as she addressed the settlers. She spoke of the community's desire for peace, their willingness to find a compromise. Her words were calm and measured, her understanding of both worlds evident. The settlers listened, their expressions a mix of skepticism and curiosity. Amelia's presence was unexpected, her role as a mediator unique. Her knowledge of their culture and her connection to the Apache gave her credibility, a voice that carried weight. The confrontation was tense, the air thick with anticipation. Amelia's heart pounded, but she remained focused. She knew this was a turning point, a chance to prove that peace was possible. With Nate by her side, Amelia continued to speak. She emphasized the importance of respect and understanding, the need to find common ground. Her words resonated with the settlers, their expressions softening as they listened. The community stood behind Amelia, their unity evident. Their strength and resilience were undeniable, a testament to their determination to protect their home. The settlers could see this, their stance shifting as they considered her words. Amelia's bravery and quick thinking were crucial in defusing the situation. Her empathy and insight helped ease the tension, creating a space for dialogue and understanding. She was a bridge between two worlds, her role essential in finding a resolution. As the confrontation continued, Amelia's courage inspired those around her. Her presence was a calming force, her words a beacon of hope. The settlers began to see the possibility of peace, their initial aggression tempered by her efforts. The crisis forced Amelia to confront her fears and insecurities. She realized her strength and the importance of standing up for what she believed in. Her journey had been long and difficult, but it had brought her to this moment, a chance to make a difference. Through her actions, Amelia earned the respect and trust of both the community and the settlers. Her bravery was recognized, her role as a mediator solidified. She had proven that understanding and compassion could overcome fear and division. As the confrontation drew to a close, a tentative agreement was reached. The settlers agreed to respect the Apache land, and the community welcomed the opportunity for peaceful coexistence. Amelia's efforts had brought them to this point, her vision of harmony realized. With the threat of conflict eased, the community breathed a collective sigh of relief. The tension that had hung over them began to dissipate, replaced by a sense of hope and possibility. Amelia felt a deep sense of fulfillment, her heart full of gratitude for the outcome. The experience had cemented Amelia's role in the community, her place as a bridge between cultures secure. She had proven her worth, her contributions valued by those around her. The journey had been challenging, but it had led her to a life of purpose and belonging. As the sun set over the camp, Amelia reflected on her journey. She had faced her fears and emerged stronger for it. The community had become her family, their love and support a constant source of strength. With Nate and the community by her side, Amelia looked to the future with confidence. They had faced the challenges of the past and emerged united, ready to embrace whatever came their way. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to face it together. Together, Amelia and Nate celebrated their success, their hearts united in hope and resilience. They had built a foundation of trust and understanding, a legacy that would guide them into the future. The path ahead was uncertain, but they were ready to walk it together. With peace secured, the Apache community began to heal from the tensions of the past months. Spring brought new life to the land, and the people looked forward to the opportunities it promised. The camp buzzed with renewed energy and hope. Amelia found herself reflecting on her journey, the choices she had made, and the life she had built. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing she had played a part in maintaining peace. Her efforts had helped protect the community she had grown to love. The simple moments brought Amelia the most joy. She watched her twins play in the grass, their laughter bright and full of life. They were growing quickly, each day bringing new discoveries and adventures. Amelia's heart swelled with pride as she watched them thrive. The bond between Amelia and Nate continued to deepen. Their relationship had evolved into a partnership built on mutual respect and love. They supported each other in all things, their connection a source of strength and comfort. Amelia and Nate spent their days working side by side, their efforts focused on building a future for the community. They planned for the coming months, discussing ways to improve their home and provide for their people. Their shared vision brought them closer, their goals intertwined. The community celebrated their new beginning with a gathering. People came together to share food, music, and stories. The air was filled with laughter and joy, a testament to the strength and resilience of the community. Amelia felt grateful to be a part of it, her heart full of love for the people around her. As the sun set, Amelia and Nate stood together, watching the sky change colors. The beauty of the moment was a reminder of the journey they had taken, the challenges they had overcome. They had built a life grounded in love and purpose, a life they cherished deeply. Amelia found peace and contentment in her new identity. She was no longer just a settler or an outsider, she was a part of the Apache community. Her contributions were valued, her presence welcomed. She had found her place in the world, a place where she was loved and needed. With the threat of conflict behind them, Amelia felt a sense of freedom and possibility. The future was open and full of promise. She looked forward to the adventures and challenges that lay ahead, confident in her ability to face them. The community's strength lay in its unity. People worked together, supporting each other in times of need. Amelia was proud to be part of such a resilient and resourceful group. Their spirit inspired her, their kindness a constant reminder of the power of community. Amelia's thoughts often turned to her late husband. She missed him dearly, but she knew he would be proud of the life she had built. Her journey had been difficult, but it had led her to a place of peace and happiness. She felt his presence in her heart, guiding her through each day. The simple moments were what Amelia cherished most. The laughter of her children, the warmth of the sun on her face, the love of her friends and family. These were the things that mattered, the things that filled her life with meaning and joy. As the days turned into weeks, Amelia embraced her new life with open arms. She had found a sense of purpose and belonging that she had longed for. Her journey had brought her to a place where she could be herself, where she could thrive and grow. Together, Amelia and Nate faced the future with hope and determination. They were ready to build a life of love and purpose, confident in their ability to overcome any obstacles. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. The community recognized the strength found in unity. They celebrated their new beginning, their hearts full of hope and promise. Amelia felt a deep sense of fulfillment in her role, her heart full of gratitude for the life she had found. As she watched the sun rise over the camp, Amelia felt a sense of peace. Her journey had led her to a place of safety and belonging, a place where she and her children could thrive. The path ahead was still uncertain, but she was ready to face it with courage and hope. With Nate and the community by her side, Amelia looked to the future with confidence. She had found more than just shelter, she had found a new beginning. Her journey had brought her to a life of purpose and belonging, a life she cherished deeply. Together, Amelia and Nate embraced the promise of tomorrow, their hearts united in resilience and hope. They would face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident in their ability to build a life of love and purpose. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. As spring fully bloomed, the Apache community embraced the new opportunities it brought. The harsh winter was behind them and the land was alive with growth. The people felt a renewed sense of hope and possibility, ready to face the future. Amelia and Nate were at the heart of this new beginning. They planned for the coming months, envisioning a life filled with hope and opportunity. Their partnership was strong, built on a foundation of mutual respect and love. Together, they dreamed of a future for themselves and the community. The twins were growing quickly, their laughter a constant source of joy for Amelia. They explored the world around them with wide-eyed wonder, their curiosity boundless. Amelia watched them play, her heart full of love and pride. They were a bridge between cultures, embodying the spirit of resilience and unity. The community thrived under the warmth of the spring sun. People worked together to plant crops, repair shelters, and prepare for the seasons ahead. Amelia was an active part of these efforts, her contributions valued by those around her. She had found her place, a role where she could make a difference. With the threat of conflict behind them, the community focused on growth and healing. The peace they had fought for was cherished, a testament to their strength and unity. Amelia felt a deep sense of fulfillment in her role, her heart full of gratitude for the life she had built. The days were busy, filled with work and laughter. Amelia found joy in the simple moments, the connections she had made with the people around her. The community was her family, their support a constant source of strength. Amelia often reflected on her journey, the path that had led her here. She had faced many challenges, but each step had brought her closer to the life she had always wanted. Her heart was full of gratitude for the experiences and lessons that had shaped her. The bond between Amelia and Nate continued to grow. They supported each other in all things, their love a source of comfort and strength. Together, they faced the future with hope, ready to build a life of purpose and joy. As the community celebrated the arrival of spring, Amelia felt a sense of peace and contentment. The challenges of the past had been overcome and the future was bright with promise. She had found more than just a home, she had found a life filled with love and belonging. The twins were a constant reminder of what Amelia was fighting for. Their laughter and smiles were a beacon of hope, a symbol of the unity and resilience of the community. Amelia was determined to protect their future, to ensure they grew up in a world of peace and possibility. The community recognized the strength found in unity. They celebrated their new beginning, their hearts full of hope and promise. Amelia felt a deep sense of fulfillment in her role, her heart full of gratitude for the life she had found. As she watched the sun set over the camp, Amelia felt a sense of peace. Her journey had led her to a place of safety and belonging, a place where she and her children could thrive. The path ahead was still uncertain, but she was ready to face it with courage and hope. With Nate and the community by her side, Amelia looked to the future with confidence. She had found more than just shelter, she had found a new beginning. Her journey had brought her to a life of purpose and belonging, a life she cherished deeply. Together, Amelia and Nate embraced the promise of tomorrow, their hearts united in resilience and hope. They would face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident in their ability to build a life of love and purpose. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to embrace it together. As spring blossomed, the community looked forward to new opportunities and growth. Amelia and Nate planned for the future, envisioning a life filled with hope and possibility. The twins symbolized a bridge between cultures, embodying the spirit of resilience and unity. Amelia's journey had come full circle, from abandonment to belonging. The story ended with a message of hope, emphasizing the power of love, community, and the human spirit to overcome adversity. Together, they would face whatever came their way, their hearts united in love and hope. If you loved the story, like the video and subscribe.